wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Bee. So don't get her pissed. It's Jason. Talks like a spaz. And they love to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you thinking about today, Jay Bird?
I'm starting to get back in the swing of things with the Weird and Whatever podcast, so I'm starting to, really delve into the weird stuff again. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I brought this stuff up before, that had a near-death experience. And this is somebody who actually died, came back to life, and then was in a coma for a few weeks.
Ooh.
And then they obviously got out of the coma, and now they're way better. But talking with them, another story of how their personality completely changed after they died. And they said they saw stuff when they were in the coma or whenever they passed over. They claimed to have seen their father. They claimed to have seen somebody who committed suicide.
Wow.
That they were speaking with. And their experience, or at least what they felt, was that this is not it. We don't know what the heck we're talking about when it comes to, a lot of these doctors, a lot of these psychologists will kind of say, oh, near-death experience, or if you see a spirit, that's all in your head. It's a mental condition. There's a mental reason why. It can't be a ghost. I don't know, man. When I hear these NDR or the near-death experience, the NDE stories, I think there might be something to it.
Well, there's that fascinating Netflix special, Surviving Death, that covers all that, and they really do a clinical approach looking at people who've had those claims and those stories and what they say about it.
Yeah, there was another story I heard that this guy was on a plane that went down and a lot of people had passed away, and he survived it. And as the plane was going down, or it crashed, and he saw souls leaving other people. Some had light coming out of them going to the sky. Others had this really creepy looking darkness. Kind of like the movie Ghost.
Dark Soul?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like they weren't going to a sweet place.
Damn.
Now that's one person's account.
You certainly hate to hear that.
It does creep you out. Now, is that person lying? Did something happen with their brain where they thought they saw something? Because that's always the other argument, where your brain's an engine and it fires all these little things at the very end to protect.
You're still dreaming.
Yes. Well, they say when you see things when you're dying, that's your brain protecting you from the horribleness. It's supposed to somehow protect you at the very end to where it's not so bad. That's what I've read.
So you think you're going to heaven to see all your friends and your family, and then that's it?
It depends on who you ask. There's so much debate about it.
Can we just get the real answer, please?
You're not going to get it. Anybody who says they know for certain, you can't trust that person because they don't know. How do they know?
They don't know.
That's why they call it the great unknown.
It's the great unknown, and I am fascinated with it.
Freaking me out.
That's supposed to freak you out. It's supposed to get you thinking.
Dark Soul, you're freaking me out.
Well, I think you're good. I don't think you get no dark soul. You are a witch. So I do see your concern. I get it now.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Maybe I'm dark. I don't know. Uh-oh.
I get why.
Some days I do feel like I have a dark soul.
There are days I wake up and I go, you know what? I'm going to do good in heaven. And then there's other days I wake up and go, dude, you ain't going to heaven.
What is on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, I wanted to tell you guys about this little thing that happened. So for my sister's birthday last week, we were kind of on a caviar kick. And so I thought it'd be really cool to send her this special package of caviar from Beverly Hills. It was like $100. And with like shipping and everything, it was not cheap. And so it was supposed to arrive the day before her birthday. Well, all the shipping that's been going on and all the delays with packages, it didn't get there the day before her birthday. It got there actually on her birthday, and it was supposed to be chill when it arrived, but she was like, it was cold-ish.
Okay.
And I was like, that's not good. So I reached out to the company. I told them, hey, it arrived warm and we don't know if we should eat it. And they were like, don't worry, we'll send you a new one. And bam, they put a new one in the mail immediately. I was
That's
like,
cool.
Wow, it was that easy?
You're like, wow, customer service. It does exist.
Wow, I can only imagine how much I overpaid if you're that quick to jump into action. So yeah, she's getting a new thing this week of the little caviar gift set.
Yeah, that's good because, caviar, so not cheap, and it's one of those things where you don't want it to go to waste, but you also maybe don't want to take that gamble of, am I going to eat something that's spoiled? I'm going to get deathly ill from it.
Well, I read online, like if you smell it,
Yeah.
and it still smells okay, you're okay. But when it starts to go bad, it is funky.
Don't they call that beluga? Isn't beluga a type of...
I don't know if you're allowed to eat beluga caviar anymore. I think beluga has been outlawed.
Is that whale?
I think so, yeah. Beluga's a whale, yeah.
Okay, beluga. Oh, how gross does that sound? Beluga eggs. Beluga.
There's one kind that I think it starts with a B that's like illegal or something.
How much is it? Okay, if you want a round of caviar, let's say for 2 people, where you're both going to get filled up really good. You have 2 hungry adults. How much is that going to run you?
Well, it just depends on how much. I mean,
Mid-range caviar.
I got her. They sell it by the gram. It's like cocaine. They sell caviar by the gram, and so I sent my sister 30 grams, and that was $100. My friend a couple of months ago gave me 125 grams, and that retailed for $1,200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's when I got on this caviar kick, when my fancy friend gifted it to me because he didn't want it, because somebody had gifted it to him, but he doesn't even eat caviar. So I was like, I'll eat it. And now it's all I can think about.
This just in, first KVJ retraction of the day. Whales don't have eggs. They are mammals. Wrong again.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
What's beluga caviar?
Does that mean
then?
whales are birthing? They birth it, right?
Huh?
Do whales, they birth their baby?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I gotta watch.
Live calf.
Gotta watch that.
Yeah. So it's amazing if you watch one of those nature specials.
It seems gross, though. I'm gonna.
Terribly gross.
The idea of it's more exciting
It's
than.
disgusting.
Yeah, we're
Don't be
dumb.
eating caviar while you're watching it.
We knew that, Virginia. Whales give they do babies.
Beluga caviar is a thing, though. So explain that.
Well, I think we are just wrong about our facts. Oh, that looks gnarly, by the way. You ever had caviar?
Yeah.
You like it?
It's okay. Yeah. I'm not going to pay crazy rates for it, but
Is it insane to take caviar, smear it on potato bread, then put cheese on it? Is that a faux pas?
I mean, the cheese would be a little bit of a mess because you don't usually do fish and cheese. But yeah, I think
we didn't like Park.
on bread, people are doing caviar with potato chips now. That's the thing to do. You
Oh,
put
it is.
You put it on a potato
Oh.
chip, and so I
but it's got to be a
love it.
high-end, expensive chip, of course, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I got the fanciest chips.
It's got to be a Ruffles.
Got to roll your R when you say it.
Try to get up
Yeah,
to
you
it.
could do it.
Like, Ruffles.
Yeah. What I got on my mind today is Positive K. Definitely back, feeling really good about it. You know, during the whole pandemic, there were days where I was cautiously optimistic, and today I feel pretty confidently optimistic. Really good numbers. For the 3rd day in a row, the state of Florida had less than 100 deaths. Case numbers all the way down at 3,312. They say that more people have now been fully vaccinated in Florida than have actually caught the virus.
Whoa.
So we've got almost 10% of the population with both vaccinations.
It's good to see a
Shots.
positive, K.
Yeah.
Nice. You look good today.
Yeah. So, you know, you're starting to see things even with the CDC yesterday. They issued some new guidelines where some really cool things are happening. If you have a grandparent that is vaccinated, they can now safely hug their grandkids. CDC's like, yeah, that's cool. Go for it. And they also said that people who've been vaccinated, it's safe for them to be indoors with other vaccinated people or even small groups who aren't.
You hear that? Sounds like the Tom Cruise cruise is going to happen.
Getting there, baby.
Bang, bang.
Getting there.
Oh, man, that's exciting.
And they say that the number of people who say that they will do the vaccine now is up. It was 34% in December. Now it's about 55%.
Wow.
They say they now want the vaccine or they've already gotten it. So We're getting just over a majority of the population.
Maybe
People are going to be doing that.
It's all those people that were watching to see if the first round of people would drop dead.
I think it was.
And the
There
first
was
round
that.
of people, they appear to be functioning. A lot of
Yeah.
those nurses and doctors all got it.
Yeah.
They look fine.
I heard someone say, man, what if I take something like that and something weird happens, like I grow a tail? I go, dude, growing a tail would be awesome. Sign me up.
He's in.
If you only could take a pill and grow a tail.
Yes, I'm in.
And they're saying that the vaccines are actually doing better than scientists had predicted, between 85 to 92% effectiveness. So apparently they didn't think it was going to be that high. So everything seems to be going great. So there's a lot of optimism out there. And then the thoughts of, okay, when are we going to get this thing going? When is life going to return back to normal?
We have our first events this weekend. We haven't had anything in a year. This is the first time we've been out and about doing stuff.
It's
It's
a
crazy.
weird feeling, yeah. I've got a luncheon Friday. We have got the Irish Fest on Saturday at Abacoa Town Center. We're doing a virtual Little Smile Stars Ball on Saturday. So, yeah, it's a jam-packed weekends.
I kind of want to flip it to where the Stars Ball is first, then the Irish party is after, only because I don't trust myself.
Oh, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about that scheduling.
I mean, we go hard on St. Patty's. Although it's not St. Patty's this weekend, is it?
Well, technically, it's the weekend before. It's technically Wednesday.
A lot of the places are blowing it out because
Okay.
it feels better.
Yeah.
Because your St. Patty's Day, actual day, is hitting on Wednesday of next week. So we're just 8 days away from the actual St. Patty's Day. So this weekend will be when you see any festivities that happen. That'll be when it goes down.
All right, let's break out the green. Green.
Denny's.
St. Patty's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting just to see, too. We had put up a post on the KVJ Show Facebook page and Instagram. Do you remember what your last BC event was? That's before COVID. What was your last BC memory?
I
Where
do.
You did something and boom, you're like, oh, wow, that's right. That was the last thing I pretty much did. So, yeah, there's some a lot of comments that we got on both places. We'll get to that coming up here. Talk about that last thing we did right before, whoa, the world slowed down. So hopefully we're getting back to it before too long. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we got some random questions we are going to be throwing at you today. Some of them have to do with technology. Given the world's current level of technological advancement, what is the one breakthrough that you're surprised that we haven't had yet?
I actually have something.
Okay, good. All right, well, then you can contribute when we hit you with some random questions next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Okay, I got some random questions for you. What is your least favorite thing about doing the KVJ show? What would you have to say?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Probably the sleep, lack of sleep.
Okay.
That sucks because I can feel like just, it hurts my body.
Sleep schedule?
Yeah.
Okay.
During the day.
During the day.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love the dirt. You know that.
Oh, I know.
The worst part is probably the schedule does kind of stink. Mm-hmm. It does. I'd say, honestly, trying to get content on a daily basis, constantly trying to. You could set yourself on fire on a Monday.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, wow, you set yourself on fire. It's pretty cool. What are you doing on Tuesday? That's, to
It's
me.
the toughest part, yeah.
It's the toughest part.
Yeah.
But between 6 and 11 a.m., that's the best part of my day.
Yeah. The only real relief you get, I love Friday nights and Saturdays because that's the only day of the week where you don't have to constantly stress and obsess about creating content. So
Is that what it is for you?
it is easily, yeah. That's the toughest part. If we had the show handed to us, you'd walk in and be like, going, yeah, just go ahead and here's your stuff. It'd be like, cool. That's the best thing ever.
Like a Ryan Seacrest walks
my
in, he sits
gosh.
down.
Oh, he has the best gig ever. Everybody comes up with his stuff for him. He just sits down like, hey, here's what you're talking about today, Ryan.
But he has 15 gigs, though.
He does.
He's got to do that 15 times.
Well, I need
I
more
would
gigs
get
then.
dizzy. I would forget where I was.
He's got $15 billion, too.
Yeah, he does. He's doing all right. Okay, so you have to move to a different location immediately, and it can't be Florida. Where do you move? What will be your next spot? I would likely be heading to California. I like the warmth. I think I would probably go Southern California, right in there. Love that area. And Probably would try. Third option would be maybe in Texas, south.
Well, it's funny you say California. I'm going to be in Oregon. Let's meet this weekend for some lunch.
It's kind of far away.
Well, I mean, it's still.
Yeah,
we can
West
still-
Coast.
We can make it happen.
You need to get a map.
I know where California's at. I know where Oregon. I'm just saying we'll be
Yeah.
both in the. If we're both, we have the chance to go all over the world, and we
Yeah.
both pick the western part of the United States. We're pretty close to each other in the grand scheme of things.
True.
From a certain point of view, Virginia, I'm right, you're wrong. From a certain point of view,
Hours away.
we fly to each other.
I can tell you, there are some places, though, like I've seen just in movies, TV shows. Haven't been there yet, unfortunately, but there's places in Greece that look absolutely amazing. I was watching a show that had southern Spain on there. I'm like, that looks pretty cool, too. You'd have some language issues that you'd have to get that down first, but other than that, there are some other good spots.
Gonna go to Italy. That's on my
That'd
list.
be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun. But do you want to live there? I want to travel there. I definitely don't want to live overseas.
What if I go there? I have the best pizza ever. Meet the best Italian woman ever. Love hits me over the head. Pizza hits me over the head. I might stay in Italy.
You might get married there.
Well, let's not get crazy.
I've seen some of those little Italian towns and some of the shows that I've watched recently. Same thing. They look so awesome and quaint.
And romantic. There's a story there.
I was like, I could make that. The weather looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks like South Florida right now.
Those curvy cobblestone streets that
Yeah.
go up a mountain with like beautiful homes lining the mountainside. It's like, that's
Those
gorgeous.
curvy Italian women.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Well, they say actually that a lot of people in those areas are very healthy because they walk everywhere, and you are walking up hills
I believe it.
constantly. So you stay in pretty good shape just doing that, going from
All right.
place to place.
Eat a bunch of pizza, go walk up some hills. Sounds pretty awful.
If you had $1 million that you could only spend on illegal items, what would you buy?
Illegal?
Illegal items.
I mean, well,
What would you get? $1 million, but you got to shop in the black market catalog.
I think I'm going to get some of that beluga caviar. It's
That,
illegal.
It is illegal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's illegal to get it like the old way of getting it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
probably get some things that,
Yeah, weed.
we'll probably get some weed.
Yeah.
From all over the world.
Yeah.
Different kinds.
Ooh, have you ever had Italian weed?
No, I have not had spaghetti weed, Virginia.
Oregano.
Does it look like basil?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know a lot of people probably say there are weird things that you can't get just because of relationships between countries. I know a lot of people love the Cuban cigars. And that's one of those things that, are hard to get.
You could turn
can't
around and
legally buy.
sell those and make some good cash,
Yeah.
though.
But now I'm doing work with this $1 million.
Now you got a black market.
Okay, here's my question. If you do participate in these illegal activities, you don't get caught, right?
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Okay,
You're just shopping. You got $1 million and you are in the black market catalog. What are you going to get?
Technically, you could do this and not get caught. Here's 30 grand. I want this person offed, and you don't get in trouble for it.
You're gonna murder.
Well, no, I'm just saying for the sake of the game.
You want to murder?
Your
I
illegal
don't.
item would be a hitman.
I don't want to murder, but I'm just trying to get the rules of the game. Let's get that out there. I do not want or condone murder, please.
Talk about it a lot, though.
I do talk about it a lot. I blame my childhood.
Finally, he's murdered.
Yeah.
He's been
Somehow
building
he
up.
always, yeah, like I said, he always finds a way to bring it back to either snacks or murder. That's pretty much the two lanes this guy's got. He's got two pitches, snacks and murder. Okay, if you could give one animal the ability to talk, what species would it be?
Definitely dogs.
I thought dogs would be that's the one, right?
Yeah, it's man's best friend.
Birds would be annoying because they're everywhere. You just constantly hear them talking out your window.
They would talk
I feel
too
like
much.
they're always talking S-bomb about you.
They hate humans. You walk to your car, they're talking about how fat you look. Gaining weight, bird.
I think the most useful would be a monkey or gorilla. And they can do a lot of the same functions and features you could if you could really communicate with them thoroughly and effectively like you could a human. Man, that could be a great assistant or friend or whatever you might need.
What about a bunch of peaceful butterflies? They would come.
Talking butterflies?
They come to you, talk to you all gentle.
they look gentle. What if they're not? What if butterflies are a-holes?
That's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those gorillas are angry, and when they get a hold of you, they do bad things.
And then they take your purse.
You can never really trust a gorilla, right? But think about a dog. Dogs love you. They're loyal. They protect you. Like, you can trust a dog.
She's talking about, I know you're talking about those monkeys. They are very... They will steal your phone. They'll steal your purse. They'll try to hurt you. There's a species, I know what you're talking about.
They have to be really, really careful. Like out at Lion Country Safari, you cannot ever be in a situation where they get the upper hand. You always have to be really super careful with them because they're strong AF.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
How cool would a bear be? A bear would be cool.
Talking bear?
I feel like a bear would be, hey,
It'd be a great cartoon.
what's going on?
Get a panda, though.
They are mean too, dog. They can kill you 9 different ways on a Sunday. They are very, very.
They only kill on Sunday?
It's just an expression.
If you could have one object from fiction, what would it be? Maybe a movie, maybe a TV show, maybe a book. What would be something that would be cool? Aquaman's got that trident. He can make cool things happen in the water.
DeLorean is cool.
Going back in time or going into the future, a time machine would be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wonder Woman's got an invisible jet.
That's cool, too.
how do I find it? I lose my car and I can see it.
Yeah, you're right. That wouldn't work out. And given the world's current level of technological advancement, what is the one breakthrough you're surprised that we have not had yet? In fact, just recently, people were noting that, we are actually 6 years past the mark of Back to the Future 2, and they had all kinds of cool little technological things going on in that movie that we just still haven't even got yet. So people were all expecting that we were going to have all these advancements, and here we are 6 years after when that movie is supposed to take place, and we don't have voice-controlled fruit baskets.
Yeah, I watch the Twilight Zone a lot, the old school one, and they always are talking about the future in the year 2010. This is what the world will look like, and none of it's happened.
None of it's happened. Yeah, they talked about those windows from Back to the Future 2 that show different scenery, and I can actually turn my TV on. I guess you kind of got that, but
Here's what I'm shocked about. I am shocked we have not been able to find a way to make delicious food. I'm talking the fattiest food you could possibly put down your pie hole and gain 0 weight.
Yeah.
0 calorie food that still tastes just like the amazing food that you love, and you gain no weight. I can't believe we can't get that.
I feel like we're getting close from some of the stories that I read, but that would be the ultimate, where you could eat whatever you want and you're not going to. Body fat would be a thing of the past.
Oh, yes, Kevin.
I ate pizza last night at 10 o'clock. It'd be awesome if we had this power where I ate that pizza at 10 o'clock and it didn't affect me whatsoever.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
That's what we need. We need to get there.
We need that.
Okay. Can we find the scientists that got the cure for the COVID and put them on this project now?
Yeah.
I mean, they cured COVID, right?
This would change the world if you really, if someone invented that. No one would gain weight.
We need to put a lot of focus on that.
Obesity's gone.
Obesity's a big problem.
I know.
It's a big killer.
It's a big killer.
Yeah. We need to do something about that.
I think we just got a good idea.
Okay.
Let's get those vaccine scientists that are done with the COVID vaccine and put them on fat elimination.
Yeah, we're idea people. We're
Okay.
not the scientists.
All right.
No.
Got some random questions and some random responses people have hit us up with. Talking about if you weren't living in South Florida, where would you live? Talked a little bit about Italy, and somebody said once you go to Italy or Europe, you'll never want to live in the USA.
Really?
Interesting. How about that? I gotta tell you, from what I'm seeing on the TV shows and movies, I'm like, man, that looks really cozy.
Yeah, I just want to go to Italy, drink some red wine. I don't even like red wine, but I feel like I need to.
Yeah, it looks
in the street at a table.
Yeah, it looks like what you want, just calm and cool, and everybody's kind of chill.
There's somebody playing like an accordion out in the street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, a couple other comments talking about with technology. Where we are, given the world's current level of technological advancement, what is the one breakthrough you're surprised that we haven't had yet? Somebody texted and said flying cars. Yeah, they still anticipate that. I mean, they've got a high-rise they're building in downtown Miami that has a port for flying cars. So they're expecting it sometime.
Do you think we ever get to the point where we're doing time travel? Where we could go back to the 60s?
Yeah.
Watch? I don't know.
Who would you allow to do that, though? Could you imagine if everybody got to time travel, what the heck would happen to humanity?
You couldn't do that. I mean, I'm over here. I don't think everyone should have social media accounts. I definitely don't think everyone should be doing that.
Yeah, imagine if we all had the Time Traveler 2000 and we're all just zipping all around.
Would you go back in time if you had a chance to? If you were guaranteed safety coming back, would you go back in time?
Maybe. I mean, it would be tricky. I think I'd rather go forward.
I don't know. I like living in the past.
Yeah,
We know you go back to the 70s for the sweet music.
I go back to the 70s and I stay there and I make it work.
If
You
went
look like
today,
you're in the 70s today.
I know, you blend right in.
That's where I belong.
Yeah.
Your jacket is straight up 1974.
Somebody said that I'm surprised you can't rewind on the radio the way you can with TV because of your DVR. I'd love to be able to do that when you guys are on the radio. Yeah, you know what? I am kind of surprised that because when I got, some, I think it was like one of the like Sirius XM, something like that, you could pause and things like that. I'm like, why are we not to that level yet? I still am amazed by that.
Yeah, back when I had the
What are we
satellite
doing?
radio, you could pause it and then pick it back up, and so you wouldn't miss anything.
Yeah, what the heck are we doing?
If you listen on a podcast, you can do that.
Yeah.
I know it seems like we always bash on radio, but the radio, there's a lot of ancient type of things radio's involved in, so they got to catch up on the times on some of the things.
That's why I recommend listening to the KVJ Show podcast because, yeah, you can pause, rewind, fast forward, all that kind of good stuff on those.
Because there's
That
times
you
where
can do.
There's times I'm even sitting in here. Virginia says something crazy, and I go, "What did she just say?" I go, "Why?
Yeah.
She trying to get us
Rewind that.
fired again?"
Yeah. And this is a good point. Somebody texted in and said, we might have a lot more of these cool things if scientists didn't have to keep proving to idiots that the earth is round.
Amen.
Yes. They're so distracted. They can't cure all these other problems because, like, dude, okay, here, yeah.
There's a clip of 3 flat earthers talking to these scientists. They've studied their entire life,
Yeah.
just studying all things science. And these flat earthers are trying to tell these scientists that they're wrong. And they're trying to stay calm, but you can tell they want to scream.
There's like, I have better things to do.
Yes.
Like, this is a complete waste of my time.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, coming up in just a second, Meghan Markle's sister, the one that Meghan says she hasn't seen in 18 or 19 years, went on a podcast yesterday and had some things to say about the Oprah interview.
Oh, really?
I'll share with you some of what Samantha Markle had to say coming up in
Okay.
just a second. Before we get into that, do you know who Major Biden is?
Is that the dog?
That's the dog.
I've seen a lot of bad press about this dog, Virginia.
Oh, Major Biden. He's a rescue dog who apparently has been a little bit too out of line with members of the White House security, and he bit somebody.
Uh-oh.
There's rumors that the dog is Republican.
Oh.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I'll be here all day.
So they shipped the dog back to the Biden family home in Delaware. They're like, well, you got to get out of here, Major. You're a hot mess.
Oh,
You can't
wow.
be biting people. Yeah, I think, the poor dog, he's younger. So there's 2 dogs. There's Major and there's Champ. And Champ is old. So Champ is like, I'm not biting nobody. I'm old. But Major is like 3.
Okay.
And you put a dog in a new house around all new people and a new security team, and he feels threatened. Yeah, I mean,
Yes, dogs will freak out a little
They
bit.
will.
They take a little time to get used to that
they
situation.
do. And this dog is young. Major is 3. He's still spry. He still likes to bite. So he bit one of the security guards for the White House. And they're like, you got to get out of here, Major.
You gotta go.
Bye. Coming to America scored the honor of being the top streamed movie in all of this entire year, even beating out last year's Wonder Woman. They say it did better than that and better than Borat. They don't give exact numbers of how many people watched Coming to America, but they say of any streaming service that launched a movie in the past year, it beat everybody.
Really?
So I guess that's good.
a lot of hype.
Lot of hype.
Well, you always wonder, does it matter if the movie, if people love it, if you have the numbers, isn't that what they really look at? The numbers
Yeah.
from a certain point of view. I don't know.
And finally, here, Meghan Markle's sister is furious. Samantha Markle says that during the interview, by disavowing her family, especially their dad, she's merely playing the victim for sympathy. She went on this Australian radio show and called BS on Meghan, saying that she never lost her dad. She chose to give up her dad. She iced him out.
Well, did you think you were going to go against the Queen and that was going to be it?
Samantha also didn't pull any punches, saying that she calls Meghan narcissistic and thinks that she has a personality disorder.
Really?
And she equated Prince Harry to a kidnapping victim who's fallen in love with Meghan and now is like in one of those situations where he can't get away from her. Whoa.
Yeah, it feels like there's going to be some mudslinging that's going to be going on here with all these accusations. I think that the comments from that Oprah interview put the royal family in a very tough position to explain. That dark skin comment was really getting traction yesterday.
Yeah, as it should. I
Yeah.
mean, who the heck said that?
Yeah.
Who are they protecting? Because Prince Harry wouldn't say who said it, but confirmed that it was said.
Even if it came from just one person, it kind of still looks bad. It's a bomb that, to me, put shade on the entire royal family.
And if you believe Samantha, she said that Meghan is lying about not really knowing anything about the royals.
Okay.
Samantha claims that Meghan studied the monarchy and always was like fascinated with Princess Diana. And so I don't know. Meghan Markle was saying that, you know, she didn't know anything about them. She never Googled the royal family. She didn't understand how the whole monarchy worked. And her sister, her half-sister, is claiming that's a lie. So, I don't know. Everybody's calling everybody else a liar,
I
and
know.
it certainly is juicy.
Yeah.
Who do you believe? And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
Today, got a birthday shout out here to many different emailers, including a cool little second birthday shout out to Kennedy Grace Steele. You're the sunshine of our lives. Love mommy, daddy, papa, and baba. Auntie Courtney and her family, Auntie Brooke and her family, Uncle Nick, and Aunt Afton, Roscoe, Callie, and Marley. So there you go. Been listening since 2000.
Wow.
Cute photo there.
Aw, cuties.
Yep, on KVJ TV. So thank you very much. Thought that was a lot of fun. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, talking about what was your last BC memory before COVID.
Virginia, what did I do before COVID?
I know what I did. I know the last big thing I did because I remember being there going, oh man, there's this COVID thing coming. I don't know what the heck, if I should be out in public, but I was.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, filled with like fear.
It's kind of interesting just to hear what people were doing right before. About a year ago, we shut down for quite a good bit of time. We got some of your responses from the KVJ Show Facebook page, and we'll take some of your texts too. 877-979-WRMF coming up. I still kind of remember being pretty shocked when everything started shutting down the way that it was, because I was like, wait, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Like, you can't go anywhere? We can't do anything? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. This is insane. So what exactly was going on, and what was your last BC memory before COVID?
I think mine was our Stars Ball. I think I got a haircut. We went to the Stars Ball, and then COVID hit, and that was it.
Yeah?
It was a month after.
It was? COVID was?
No, maybe it wasn't that far.
That's all
I'm
I can
trying to think when the
remember.
Stars Ball. I'll look and see.
KVJ Nation will probably be able to figure out what I did before I did. I cannot remember.
Oh, that's the great thing about Facebook. You can go and see exactly what you did right before we shut it down.
Do you remember what you did?
Yeah, I've got two things. Honda Classic was one. Remember being out there, and it was all good. People were packed in the bear trap, drooling all over each other.
Oh, I bet.
And then I was out at the Rib Roundup, the country show that our company puts on, and did that. That, I think, was pretty much my last time where I went out and it was good. So I love those kind of events where you jam a lot of people together and it's kind of the place to be. And so those are the last two things that I remember. And then after that, I went from that to a whole bunch of nothing. So it's kind of interesting to just rewind the clock 1 year to see what people were doing right before we started to shut down for COVID. On the KVJ Show Facebook page, we got a lot of comments. Jennifer had said, I remember being at Disney the last day before they shut down. And boom, it was one day they're wide open, the next day, nothing. And it happened that quickly. That's what was crazy about it. In fact, Lacey said, I was working at the Disney Resort Spa in Vero Beach, and they just, boom, one day shut their doors. In fact, they are still closed down while many other spas opened last May. So that was it. A lot of people remembering concerts. Zandra said Billie Eilish's concert in Miami. Adriana said, I was at the Okeechobee Music Fest. And Susan said, I saw Jeff Dunham at the BB&T Center. The weekend before they started closing everything and canceling all the events. So.
It's hurting my brain. I can't remember. I'm going back to Facebook, but it's taking me a minute.
So, March 6th, 7th, and 8th, I was in Port St. Lucie for the Taste of Little Italy, the Italian festival. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was there, because everybody was talking about this disease that was in China, and it was in Italy, and it was affecting people, and they were thinking it's coming here too. And there was like, it was like looming, and there was talk of it, but we hadn't yet shut it down. And literally, that was the last thing I did in public.
Okay. That was it. I do remember, too, I went to the ballpark at the Palm Beaches. I went to a spring training game, and I remember taking a photo of the lineup board because they didn't have... It was Altuve and somebody else who was part of the whole sign stealing scandal with the Astros. And that was very much a top of mind story. And that's all people were talking about. And I remember that being so crazy that 1 week everything was so important about the cheating scandal with the Astros. And then the next week there is no spring training.
Yeah. And the Astros were like, oh.
Yeah, there were some people that were saved by the pandemic because it changed the narrative.
Dang.
Some of us didn't forget about the Astros.
Took a lot of heat off of them, though. I mean, that hit at the right time. I don't think it came back with the same kind of sting.
No.
Tammy said, yeah, I remember having to cancel our plans for a weekend getaway to Dunedin for spring training. And 1 week you had spring training, and the next week it was just over. And it didn't come back. Somebody, Jennifer said, I remember walking around Washington, D.C. as things were slowly closing up one by one. It's almost like we would go to one thing, and then we get there, and they're like, sorry, we're closed. And you're like, wait, what's going on? That's kind of an eerie feeling.
That is eerie.
Do you have an official, COVID day? March 5th is the...
To me, I remember St. Patrick's Day really standing out because it was game on St. Patty's Day, and I do remember... The week of St. Patrick's Day, is they were talking about not having festivities and events. I'm like, they're not canceling St. Patrick's Day. And I was dumbfounded when they really canceled St. Patrick's Day. I remember there were a few places you could go, but that's when you really started to get kind of shamed about being out. People are like, what are you doing? This is serious stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote it in my calendar. March 11th was when we shut life down.
That pretty much was it.
March. I'm looking for March 11th. I finally got to May of last year. I'm almost in March, Mama.
Scrolling through Facebook is hard.
It is not fun.
Stacy said, I remember going to AMC Theater days before the shutdown. And for many, that's the last movie you went to.
Gosh, I can't even remember. Yeah, I think the last movie I went to was a Star Wars movie.
Okay. Somebody else said, I was at New Smyrna Beach having lunch on spring break, and a cop walked into the restaurant and shut it down right then and there.
Wow.
Yeah, we went back
That's dramatic.
Yeah, right then and there. We went back to the hotel, and they told us that we had to check out by morning.
Wow.
And then everybody started running home to lock down. Somebody said, yeah, my last BC before COVID memory was we went to Mexico for a week. I made fun of the paranoid people in the airport with their masks, and on the way back, as we got on the plane, we were asked if we had been to Ireland or China in the past 60 days. And I just noticed from when we went back to when we went, there were a ton more masks that you saw. So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting to look back. Somebody said a bunch of college buddies came to town. Leap Day weekend, we went out to eat. We went to a basketball game, and the very last thing was a food truck festival. So that was it.
Oh, man. Food truck sounds awesome right now.
Had one yesterday.
I know. It sounds awesome now.
Okay. And somebody else said, before COVID, I went to the fully packed Lake Worth Street Painting Festival. And that was it. And then COVID hit. So kind of interesting looking back a year ago. So as I said earlier, a lot of optimism with some new CDC guidelines on what to do. Looks like more people are doing the vaccine than what they expected to do. And it looks like it's doing good things for the numbers. Third day in a row, less than 100 deaths. We're at 81 yesterday, just 3,312 cases. So that's all good. And more people have now been fully vaccinated in Florida than have caught the virus. So I think we're starting to get there, Virginia.
I hope so, Kevin.
Yes.
I was out dining on Saturday night for Panda's birthday, outdoors. And there was a group of people that we know, maybe about 5 or 6 tables away from us, and they were just having the greatest time. And they actually bought a bottle of wine for Panda for his birthday.
Oh, how nice.
And so I went over there to go thank them. And they were like, we got the vaccine. We don't care. And they had such BDE.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that's what it's going to be like. They were just like, whatever. We're doing whatever we want, whenever we want. We got the vaccine. We don't care.
Wow. That's that
They're like, these are the
attitude,
benefits
huh?
of being old. And they were like throwing it in our faces.
Wow.
Finally got to March on my Facebook. Ooh. I still can't figure out what I did.
Yeah, the CDC yesterday, they released their first guidelines for people who have been vaccinated. They say it's safe for them to be indoors with other vaccinated people or even small groups who aren't. They should continue to avoid medium and large size groups, poorly ventilated indoor spaces, and domestic and international travel. They say if you are exposed to somebody who has COVID, the fully vaccinated don't need to self-quarantine or get tested unless they have symptoms. And other big news, the vaccinated grandparents can safely hug their grandkids. I know a lot of grandparents are looking forward to that. And they say that just after you've gotten your second shot, you do need to wait 2 weeks to be considered fully vaccinated.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's it. But more and more people getting there, and they got that attitude.
I went to the DMV. That was the last
That's the
place.
last thing you
Yes.
did?
Okay. Thank you, Virginia.
What a beautiful memory. I'm so
Yeah.
glad your last
Exciting.
moments were spent at the DMV.
What a terrible memory. And I spent all that time looking for that.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
We talk a lot about our favorite TV shows, but what about the coolest episode for the best TV shows? There always seems to be that one that you'll talk about that stands out, or that one that really hooked you in to be like, oh my gosh, it all leads up to this one episode.
Absolutely. Saved by the Bell when Jesse got hooked on caffeine pills. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah, right. You'd always laugh about that one.
I'm so scared, Virginia. It's iconic.
So when you think about your favorite TV show, is there one iconic episode that stands out to you as being, oh, that was it? I know for a lot of people, when you talk about Game of Thrones, it's the infamous Red Wedding episode.
Yes.
Season 3, episode 9, The Reigns of Castamere,
That was a big one.
where there's a lot of shocking and sudden deaths to multiple major cast members that happened in that. If you talk about Game of Thrones, people remember that.
If you talk about The Office, a lot of people remember Dinner Party, which is my personal favorite one as well.
Yeah, season 4, episode 9 has the most vital characters from The Office go to a dinner party at Michael and Jan's condo.
I've seen that episode probably 100 times. I go to bed with that episode. I love that. It's so uncomfortable and funny. It's great.
That's the one everybody seems to remember from that show. If you had to say Oprah Winfrey, what is her most iconic episode
I mean, Tom Cruise jumping on the couch. It was insane.
of the history of that show? They say that is the one that stands out the most to people, the Tom Cruise episode.
I believe it.
We recently watched that again. You forget how insane it was. It was
Yeah.
the entire hour. He kept jumping up on the couch and doing this weird dance, and then they had this awkward shot of Katie Holmes in the background,
Yeah.
looking like she was a hostage.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be there. It was great awkward programming.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about a major A-lister on a major show that is acting so bizarre.
Losing his mind.
People couldn't believe what they were seeing. It's crazy. Grey's Anatomy, I know, a big show that people love. So many seasons, but from all of it, they say the most iconic episode is season 2, episode 27, called Losing My Religion. It features a prom at Seattle Grace. There's a death, somebody quits, there's a big cast hookup, and all the while they wrap up the second season with snow patrols chasing cars. And I remember that because that song became a massive hit because of that one TV episode. That's how big it was.
I remember that whole Snow Patrol thing. It was, oh my gosh, Snow Patrol.
It was on Grey's Anatomy. It's such a great show.
McDreamy.
Now, Virginia, you love Sex in the City.
I do.
So tell me if this is what you would think would be their most iconic episode. They listed as Season 5, Episode 1, called Anchors Away, where there's a debate as to whether or not you have one or two great loves in a lifetime. One cast member bemoans her gigantic breastfeeding nipples, and another blasts a lover for cheating by putting up flyers all around New York City.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds solid.
There's a few iconic episodes. How about the one where Carrie farted in front of Big? They had a whole episode about things.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite ones.
They also list for another one of your favorites, Virginia, Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They say the most iconic episode in that show is Season 2, Episode 13, called Bitch Slap. It features Stassi's iconic backhand slap across Kristen's face.
Kristen deserved it. Kristen was sleeping with her boyfriend.
Okay.
Kristen was hooking up with Stassi's boyfriend.
So do you agree with that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta slap a bitch.
All right.
The one Fresh Prince where there was a gun involved and Will's in the hospital.
Yeah. I remember the one where he was crying to Uncle Phil.
That was a big one too.
Yeah.
I believe that was about his dad on that one.
Yeah. One that I love, and I kind of agree with this one. They said even all the way down to Chappelle's Show, Season 2, Episode 4. Charlie Murphy tells a story about James Brown where he reveals that cocaine is one hell of a drug and also gives birth to, I'm Rick James, bitch.
Pretty good episode.
That's a great episode.
Also, if you had to talk about the TV show Punk'd, what is the most iconic episode of Punk'd?
The Justin Timberlake one is awesome.
Bam, that was Season 1, Episode 1. That was what got you hooked. Ashton Kutcher gets Justin Timberlake to weep. He was openly crying by convincing him that his house and all his valuables had been repossessed by the government.
How bummed out are you if you're Timberlake? Like, are you really going to release that? They've talked about, there's some celebrity where they punked, and I guess he had an over-the-top reaction, and he demanded you can't run it.
I wonder who that was.
I know. I don't think they ever said who it was, but they go, there was one celebrity who would not let us release it.
Dang.
I would love to have seen that.
It seems like the really great ones do have that moment where you're like, wow, okay, that was some big stuff. Talked about even like in TV shows like Better Call Saul. The one they list for that is Season 3, Episode 5, when Chuck tricks his brother into a dramatic courtroom confession.
That was in all Season 5 I loved.
Yeah, to me, that's when that show really was like, okay, this is a great show.
And I think they got one more season coming out, which is going to be awesome because it's going to bleed into Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
They said the most iconic episode of Breaking Bad is Season 5, Episode 14, called Ozymandias. Features a major cast member's death and a key family member discovers Walter's true profession.
It's a great episode. And that episode is on the top 5 greatest Breaking Bad episode list.
It is, okay.
Yeah. The Sopranos. If you're a Soprano fan, you'll know the one I'm talking about. It's where Tony's two guys go out to the woods, and there's a Russian dude that's hunting them down.
They call it Pine Barrens. It's Season 3, Episode 11. It has Christopher and Polly when they botch a routine shakedown that gets them extremely lost in the New Jersey woods.
They have to share frozen ketchup packets because there's nothing else to eat in the car. It's a really good episode.
Yeah.
Panda loves The Sopranos. He's on a big Sopranos kick right now.
Excellent series.
He just texted me and said, what about the episode when Tony and Christopher were in the car wreck and Christopher was choking on his own blood and then admitted to Tony he wouldn't pass a drug test, and Tony pinched his nose, preventing him from breathing, and he died?
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen The Sopranos by now.
Dog, it's 2021. There's a lot of content out there. You and Pan, you Snickies, I tell you.
Yeah. The TV show Dexter, they say the most iconic episode of that one is Season 4, Episode 12. It's called The Getaway. It has Dexter stalking the Trinity Killer to the site of a personally punishing and gruesome discovery. If you've seen that show, you know what we're talking about. If not, we won't spoil it.
Any of the old school shows, I was always a fan of the very special episodes. There was one Different Strokes. I know you all remember that show where Arnold gets kidnapped and Kimberly gets kidnapped, and there's this guy. He's got him in a car. He's gonna kill him.
Jeez.
It's pretty heavy.
Okay. Virginia, what do you think is the one for Seinfeld? Because a couple people were texting in saying this is, without a doubt, the most iconic episode of Seinfeld.
The marine biologist is my favorite.
Okay, I do remember that with the whale.
That's the best, with the
Yeah.
whale and the golf. And
Man Hands is great, and the girl that keeps wearing the same outfit.
Multiple people were saying The Contest.
Master of my
your-
domain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good one. The Soup Nazi is a lot of people's favorite, too.
People were saying with Friends, there's a little debate here. The one where Rachel got off the plane or the one where they had the prom video is what people were saying for Friends. As that being the most iconic one.
For Ozark, I would say the first episode of the series and then the last episode of season 3.
Yeah.
Both of them had intense. You're
Yeah.
like, wow.
Some of them start off with episode 1. Absolutely. In fact, Friday Night Lights, they said season 1, episode 1, most iconic of that show. That is the pilot. That's the name of it. It sets the stage for the entire series when the star quarterback is paralyzed in a game.
You were big into that show. And
I loved it.
So would I like that one? Do I?
I don't know. I probably, the reason why I like it is I love football. I love high school football. And so I think that really tickled my fancy more than it probably would for you. It's a solid show, but give it a shot.
I play sports dog in college.
Okay.
Might like it.
Okay. I don't know if do you love football?
I do like football. The fans annoy me.
Okay.
I like the game.
Okay. All right. All good suggestions. We've got Kay on here from Boca. She's got one, what she thinks is the iconic episode for Sex and the City. What would you say it is, Kay?
I would say, hi guys, by the way.
Hello.
I would say that the episode where Carrie moves to France with her lover, and everything kind of started to go south, and then he ends up slapping her, and Mr. Big has the meeting with the girls, and he's like, "Is it worth it? Should I do it?" And Charlotte is like, "Go get our girl," and then he goes and he like wants to wrestle with the guy, and then he and Carrie end up having that really big laugh in the lobby of the hotel room, and like that's where like they fall in love and like end up being together. I think that was like my big like epic episode.
Can I ask you a question? You get to spend the rest of your life with either Aiden or Big. Who do you go with?
Oh, gosh.
I know.
That's hard. I mean, that's hard. They're so different. It's like, I understand why she had that problem, because they're just, I don't know. I got to go with the romantic. I got to go with the romantic Aiden.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay, we got that settled.
You can tell I can tell you love that franchise.
Yeah. That's a conflict. She's a conflicted woman right there.
I think I would pick Big. I don't know. Aiden was too boring for me.
Well, Big's got the money. You're kind of
Yeah,
shallow.
I'm pretty shallow.
And the
Yeah.
little basketball fight at his cabin was like, like with the mud and the basketball, and they throw it at each other.
Still a love for this show.
Yeah,
again.
it's a great show.
Yeah, they're bringing it back, right? Is something going on?
There's
there?
another movie
Another
happening.
movie, okay.
But just no Samantha, which that's
Right.
going to be weird.
Okay. All right. Well, there's obviously still some big fans. And somebody said most iconic episode of Peaky Blinders is season 4, episode 6. It looks like Tommy Shelby is going to have to sign away all of his business, and then he pulls a brilliant move, and it just spins in a moment. It's like, wait, what happened? Talk about the last episode of Ozark like that. That was one where you're like, whoa, that was just like, whoa, what happened?
And I know there's not many seasons of Mandalorian, but the last season or the last episode of the last season of Mandalorian was amazing.
That was absolutely amazing. You're right.
I mean,
would
really
you say
amazing.
that's the iconic episode
That
of
is
Mandalorian so
for,
far?
Yeah, for me, that's the
Yeah.
icon. I mean, what do you think of that last episode of Mandalorian, Virginia?
I mean, it put me to sleep.
You would never even watch it.
I know, it's sad.
Danny's your animal. Got some topical audio here for you today as well. If you're an animal enthusiast, you're going to love this. We've got some clips of live animals We've also got some clips of Denny's trying to act like a live animal. You got to tell us which is which. And Tara's on here from West Palm Beach to play along today. Hello, Tara.
Hi.
Hello. Are you a big fan of animals?
Yes, and I'm a big fan of your show.
Oh, I love it. This is good.
Tara. Yeah, it's everything we need right here. This is all wrapped up into one tasty little package, isn't it? Well, Tara, you are in for a treat here today because we have a breaking story and the audio to go along with it. They say that the great apes at the San Diego Zoo are about to become the first non-humans to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, and we have got the audio from that. Now, you just got to tell us, Tara, is this the real audio of apes getting vaccinated, or is this our producer, Denny's, making this noise, okay?
Sure.
All right, hold still. All right, here it comes. I need gauze.
They're using gauze.
What?
Sounds like they're doing a surgical operations. How about
That
that?
ape sounded familiar.
The ape sounded familiar. The guy performing the vaccination sounded familiar.
The scientist and the ape. I feel like I've met them.
Okay. Tara, what do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal there?
I think that's Denny's.
You think that is Denny's? Yes. You can't fool her.
Yay!
Boy, does that primate sound like it's kind of for the vaccination?
It really was. He wants it. He wants his freedom back. He wants to be able to take off that mask. How annoying it is to be a great ape and have a mask on. Okay, the next clip that we have here for you, Tara, these are elephants at a watering hole. It's where they love to hang out. It's basically kind of like an elephant bar, basically. They all just kind of like hang out. You know, they do last call and all that kind of stuff. So what do you think here? Is this Denny's or Animal? Ooh, okay.
They're very intelligent, too.
Yeah, they are. What do you think about that, Tara? Is that the real thing, or is that our producer, Denny's?
That should be Animal.
You're going to say that one is Animal? Yes!
They say elephants seriously mourn their loved ones when they pass. They go visit the grave sites.
That's so sweet.
It is sweet. It makes me love the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
A little factoid.
No, thank you for that. Look, you never knew you were going to get that bonus material, did you? This game's got everything in it. Okay, Tara, we got one more clip here for you. Denny's or Animal, we have firefighters rescuing a cat that is stuck in a tree. What do you think? Denny's or Animal?
Meow. Meow.
There's the cat. Boy, how many fire trucks do they need to bring out to get a damn cat out of a tree?
7. That was 7.
I mean, it seems kind of like maybe they're overdoing it a bit, right?
And if they're going to rescue a cat, do they put sirens on? That's a legit question.
I mean, do we need all this? This feels like a lot for just a cat.
Meow. Meow.
Must be a very important cat. That's the
fan
only thing
of
I
that
figure
cat.
out. Okay. Tara.
It's the cat from the Meow Mix commercials.
Okay, well, that's why it's so important then. Tara, is this Denny's or Animal?
For sure, that's Denny's.
For sure, she says, with authority.
Yay!
She had confidence in that one, and you got a perfect score, Tara. Thank you so much for playing along.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Got some emails here for Am I the Jerk? We make a lot of decisions, and in some of them, we may be a little bit jerky, but just how big of a jerk are we? And sometimes we're not at all. What do you think about this one? We got an email that said, my friend had asked me to be the godfather of his new son. I'm a very busy dude, and I don't want the responsibility of being a godfather, so I declined his offer, and now he's all butthurt and he won't talk to me. My girlfriend also thought it was a jerky thing for me to do, and now she's giving me too. My girlfriend said that I need to call my friend up and tell him that I want to be the godfather now because it's the right thing to do. Am I the jerk if I still refuse this offer?
No, I don't think you are. If you don't want to be in this kid's life and you don't care about helping raise this kid and be a part of all of that, if it's not important to you, then you should not accept it.
I mean, just because you're not the godfather doesn't mean you can't be in the kid's life either. He may just know his own personal life and say, look, I may not be the right guy for the situation because of my situation.
I would take this seriously.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you recognize that, but I just can't do that. I don't have the time.
Well, let's say he doesn't have the time. He knows in his heart he doesn't have the time, and he still accepts the fact that, all right, I'll do it because my girlfriend thinks I'm a jerk, my friend thinks I'm a jerk.
I think you're more of a jerk if you do it for that reason.
I'm going to be a terrible godfather. I know this. But
not everybody likes kids.
There's quite a few who don't.
So forcing a guy to be a godfather when he's told you he doesn't want to is bizarre.
I think forcing him to try to be the godfather and guilting him and not talking to him, you're more of the jerk than he is for saying no.
I also think the girlfriend's a bit of a jerk too because he's trying to open up and be vulnerable going, babe, I can't do that. You're the jerk. You got to do it.
Right.
All right. We all agree on that one.
Yeah,
he's
not the
fine.
jerk. He's good.
If you speak from your heart that you don't feel like you want to be a godfather, that's okay.
Got this from a text message. It says, my sister is pissed that I picked up my niece from a party since she and her friends had been drinking. She's 15, but I always told her to call me before drinking and driving with anyone. Why am I the jerk? Am I or is she? Shouldn't she be thankful that my niece would trust me to call or to call me? That is the thought. Should she have not given her drunken niece a ride home? Her sister is mad at her.
I mean, her sister's wrong for being mad at her. Anybody who steps in to help make sure that the kids get home safe with a designated driver is a good person. We don't get mad at that person. We thank that person.
Well, that's why we do this. Are they the jerk? We don't know.
Mom needs to look at herself.
Yeah.
Because I think the mom's probably jealous that she would go to the aunt to get the ride and not to her. But you got to realize, Mom, you've probably created a dynamic with your daughter where she's not comfortable doing that because she knows that the boom would be lowered on her as she tries different things in life. And, you know, it probably happens a lot where the cool aunt, is I'm here to do that. And just be thankful that, okay, maybe you don't want to have that kind of relationship with your daughter. And maybe that's a good way to have it, where you're a little bit more the heavy and the auntie can be cool and you can call the auntie and have her pick you up. But yeah,
I think it's a good dynamic.
It's probably a jealousy issue. And I think the mom needs to check herself. And for the aunt, I think that, you know, you're good and stay the course. It's my thought.
I agree.
This email wants to know if they're the jerk for using their sister to babysit. Says, I am a 22-year-old nanny for two different families. One family only needs me to help them occasionally, and the other needs me daily. The problem is that I got double booked, and I had to have my 17-year-old sister watch the baby for one of the families. I didn't want to decline the offer and have them go find somebody else who they might start using more regularly. I need the money. The baby is very low maintenance and sleeps most of the time anyway. When my mom found out what happened and said that it was wrong for me to not tell the family what was going on, I think she's being a bit dramatic. Am I the jerk for doing this?
The kid's the jerk. You can't do that. You're talking about a baby. If anything's to go down, go wrong, now you have to tell this story about how the 17-year-old kid's watching the baby. Now, the person is wrong for doing that.
22-year-old, your mom is right.
Yeah, your mom's right. You can't do that. You can't do a switch and bait or bait and switch with the babysitter.
I appreciate the fact that she's trying to keep her hustle, but yeah, if you're going to stick anybody in charge of anybody else's kid, you got to tell them who's watching their kid.
If I had a kid and I had someone watching my kid and then I found out they left and had someone else watch my kid and I find out after the fact, I am so pissed off about that. I don't know that person.
Right.
I want to vet this person.
I get to say who watches my kid, especially when we're talking about an infant.
Right. And there's trust there.
Mm-hmm.
Big time jerk.
You've broken the trust. They might fire you.
That's fireable offense.
Okay.
Sorry.
Worse. Okay.
Sorry, dog.
Yeah. All right. You are the jerk on that one. And what about this? Am I the jerk for refusing to give my bear to a kid?
Bear?
My husband and I were both 24 years old, but we love stuffed animals and toys. We have every single Pokemon Build-A-Bear, so we were thrilled to find a rare bear before our date last night. While we were in line to get it stuffed, a mother comes over to ask if she could have our bear. Apparently, it was the last one. It was her daughter's 10th birthday, and she was having a tantrum because there were no more bears. Well, at first, this mom was sweet, but after I politely declined, she demanded that we give it to her because we were adults and we didn't need it. I told her to just go buy it online, but she said that won't do anything for her daughter's birthday. We held our ground, but I wonder if we were jerks.
No, you're not a jerk. You got the bear first. The woman was a jerk for getting in. Get to the store earlier.
I don't know. I would have given her the bear, but I mean, again, I wouldn't be a grown adult fighting over a bear.
Some adults like to collect toys.
Yeah, right.
They do the research on that.
I
They
would-
drive hours to get a certain item.
I would give the kid the bear.
I would give the kid the bear too. I really would. But I tell you what, the mom makes it real hard if she's being annoying about it. My kid deserves the bear. Give me that bear back.
Bareback?
Give me that bear back.
All right. Kevin, you heard him.
Yeah, at least
I
they didn't
would-
talk about a jacket contest.
I would give the bear the kid, but the mom's annoying.
You would give the bear the kid?
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Kevin. You go to commercial.
Radio's finest moments.
I'm not very good.
I'm kind of surprised how many people are telling that 10-year-old kid having the birthday to go kiss it. You're not getting my Build-A-Bear.
Well, the mom also doesn't help because she's being a bit entitled and jerky about the whole thing. My kid deserves it. My kid needs it.
Yeah, there is no expectation. Just because you're 24 years old, you find a exclusive bear at Build-A-Bear, you get it, you're in line to get it stuffed, and a mom comes up and is like, yeah, my kid's having a temper tantrum because you took the last bear. You don't necessarily have to give that up. A lot of people are really backing that up, saying no.
Well, you don't get everything you want in life
Right.
if you have a meltdown. That's my
Yeah.
my problem with today.
Yeah, a lot
you
of
get a
people
meltdown, you get what you want.
A lot of people are defending the adult, saying you're not the jerk. Go on ahead, take the bear and tell the kid to kiss it.
Well, I remember me, Denny's, and his wife Jen. We drove to Orlando specifically for me to get this one GI Joe figure. And if I went there, the same situation happened. Sorry, kid.
Yeah, that's it.
If the kid was crying, the mom was a jerk.
Okay, ever got your own question? If you're the jerk or not, you can send us that email. We even get texts on it too. Mail@kvjshow.com, MAIL at kvjshow.com. And you can text them in 877-979-WRMF. Interesting thought on this. What well-known person died way too soon? Thinking that they had a lot more to contribute. Now, there are some celebrities, and it's sad when anybody dies before their time, but some celebrities that have passed, their career really kind of ramped down. They were just kind of cruising. You wouldn't really expect a lot of stuff, but somebody who was like, wow, they were really just getting going.
That's a great point because you could say, oh, John Lennon. But John Lennon, when he died, as sad as it was, he got to the mountaintop.
Yeah, and you may even look at a Whitney Houston. And Whitney, I think, really had her best work behind her.
But then you think of someone like a Jimi Hendrix who died way young.
27.
That's young, man.
Right. What else did he have?
Tupac had more to give.
Yeah.
He did. He was to me in the height, and he still had at least 3 more big albums to come out.
Well, he and Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie.
Same time.
Amy Winehouse.
Big time.
Snatched too soon.
Yeah, a lot of people argue that. And the thing that's tough with some of these artists that I hate to see is when they get caught up in the drugs, though, it does affect the ability for them to put out the product that they have the skill to do.
Well, I mean, isn't Janis Joplin? Didn't we lose her to drugs? Didn't we lose?
Yeah. You got Janis Joplin, you got a Jimi Hendrix, you've got a Jim Morrison, you got
Keith
a lot of
Moon.
artists. Yeah. A lot of artists that had something more to give.
Heath Ledger?
Yeah, Kurt Cobain. Yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of people that you can talk about. Who really do you think was like, wow, they were just about to really take off? Now, this is a good point that people made, and it's no point of her own, but Selena, she was an artist back in the late 90s, and she was a big Tejano singer, and she had just released her English crossover album. I was in Fresno, California at the time, and they have a very large Mexican population. So I really got to see, man, they loved her in that community.
I bet they went nuts.
Yeah, it was a really big deal, and she was just about to, kind of do a Shakira move, where you've seen other Hispanic artists become really big on the mainstream, and she still had a couple of hits.
It was weird because they would play her song, the real slow one I love, on Sunny. It was 104.3.
If I Fall in Love, yeah.
Yes, back in the day. And she had just passed away, and that song was on the radio. It was very bizarre.
Yeah, it was. And she was somebody who was just getting going. Like, you're like, wow, that's what's really tragic is like they are just here. It's just ready to get going. That's why I like the Heath Ledger. Felt like, man, he had just done the role of the Joker and the Dark Knight, and you're like, wow, that guy is amazing, and then boom, gone.
People are saying someone like Whitney Houston, Robin Williams. Again, they had already been established. It's sad that we lost them.
Yeah,
but they already had a massive career,
right? And I remember Whitney was really trying to struggle to get another big hit, to reach the same kind of success she had. She would, pepper in like, okay, that was nice.
Now this is a good one, a Jim Belushi, because he was way young when he died, and he was supposed to be
Jim's still alive.
John Belushi. And then you have Chris Farley.
Yeah, right in there. Yeah, you really felt like Chris Farley had a lot more to give, and that's like, wow, man, that's too bad. River Phoenix, he was the same way, from that family that had done so much.
You had a crush on him, River Phoenix?
I think everybody did. My age, it was shocking.
I did too.
Well, people are going as far back as James Dean.
Yeah,
he was young.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The weird story about James Dean, he had just met Alec Guinness, the guy who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
They had this really weird moment where they met. James Dean showed Ben Kenobi his car that he had just gotten, and Ben Kenobi goes, I don't like this. You shouldn't drive in this car, blah, blah, blah. And a week later, he died in the car.
Wow.
Dang.
So Ben Kenobi really had the Force.
He was, yeah.
That's a real
Jedi
story.
Powers.
Yeah.
Dang. That's what happens when you don't listen to a Jedi Knight. Yeah, there's a lot of artists here lately, too, that you could argue, wow, I feel like they had a lot more. Your Eazy-E, your Mac Miller, Juice WRLD, XX, XXXTentacion, Nipsey Hussle, some people suggested. Even Chester Bennington. I think like he had a lot left to show from Linkin Park.
You said Eazy-E?
He did.
Okay, yeah. Easy had a lot more in the tank.
Absolutely.
Man. Oh, big time, man.
He was young.
He was so young, and he died when they were majorly popular.
A lot of people listing Aaliyah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was a plane accident. Was that in the Bahamas?
Yeah. Trying to leave the Bahamas.
Right. Okay. Thought so. There's some people, too, that are not just musical artists either. Kobe Bryant. No, he was done with his playing career, but he was doing a lot of other amazing projects. What left might he have done? John F. Kennedy probably was going to be reelected, I would assume, the way things are going 3 years into his presidency.
Let's not get political. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Princess Diana.
Yeah.
A lot of philanthropic work.
I'd be so curious to see what she thinks of all of this going on right now.
She'd probably be sad.
I watched an interview that she did back in the day. I even shared it on my Twitter because it was like, wow, she was saying that, she wouldn't put up with it. She was a strong woman and the monarchy didn't know how to handle a strong woman.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
I would imagine she would be on Meghan Markle's side. It feels like Meghan Markle's honestly or almost embodying a lot of the same fights that Princess Diana took on.
You also have sports figures that were, Roberto Clemente. I never seen him play, obviously, but he was such a humanitarian, and he died with 3,000 hits exactly, and he still had more in the tank, and I wonder what records he would have had if he would have stayed alive.
Yeah, there's another one for South Florida, Jose Fernandez, pitcher for the Marlins. And that guy was just getting going. He was the franchise. He was the future of the Marlins. And with his untimely passing, that really kind of threw the Marlins. I know they were already in a tailspin, but this is bright hope.
This is a really good one. Imagine if he would have stayed alive. Bruce Lee. What would he have done?
Yeah, he was just kind of starting to get his fame in America. He had some in China and his Enter the Dragon. I think he died maybe right before Enter the Dragon even came out in America, and that really made him the big star here.
I know I'm going to probably lose the room, but Jim Croce, singer-songwriter from the 70s, he had major hits, and he died right when they got on the radio. He never saw the fruits of his labor. Never. He never got to see. Never got to see the success, really.
Okay.
And he considered classic Virginia. He had a great mustache. In fact, he wore jean jackets like Kevin.
You talk about him a lot.
Okay.
He did something to me.
He did, huh?
Well, I mean, through his music.
Okay. Chadwick Boseman Black Panther.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a recent one. That is a really good one. The other things he's done too. I mean, keep in mind, I think a lot of people just immediately think of Black Panther, but Jackie Robinson was absolutely amazing.
Great movie.
He had done that Mods, whatever that one movie was. I saw it. One of the last movies he did, and he was great in that. I was like, wow, this guy can do everything. So, yeah, that's without a doubt, that's a great suggestion.
Getting a lot of suggestions for Freddie Mercury and Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he died way too soon. And, zombie Hulk Hogan came back. But imagine if Hulk Hogan would still be alive, the things he would have done.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The careers he would have destroyed.
His own.
Tara's got a thought here from Stuart. What's your suggestion, Tara?
Oh, my suggestion is Bob Marley at the age of 36 years old.
Wow.
That's a good one, too.
I would love for you to sing us some Bob Marley right now.
Oh, one love, one heart. Let's get
together and feel all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Yeah, no, that is a really great suggestion. Phil Hartman from Saturday Night Live.
Yes, that one was rough.
He's in my top 5 of all time. I loved Phil Hartman.
Yeah, pretty good.
He was Captain Carl with Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. John from Loxahatchee's got a thought. We'd mentioned Bruce Lee, but you wanted to say something else, John. What you got?
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. I love the show.
Thanks, brother.
I just Bob Marley's a tough act to follow, by the way.
It is, yeah. That's the mic drop.
Yeah, you got to sing along atop that.
I heard Jason mention Bruce Lee, and I thought immediately of The Crow. What about his son Brandon? What a great talent.
Yeah. What a weird story that was, too. You're right. You almost can't mention one without the other.
That is so bizarre.
Yeah. It really was, the way that he went and how he went. It's a good suggestion.
Was his son the one that got killed with the prop gun?
Yeah, it was. They were doing The Crow.
So sad.
And
the movie.
And suspicious.
It was, yeah, I don't know the full story on that. I think they still just chalk it up as an accident from what I had heard, but yeah.
I'm sorry. If we're doing a KVJ horror movie and someone gets shot with a prop gun, we are investigating that because I think someone wants Virginia dead.
I would not trust anybody on the show with a prop gun.
No way. I don't trust anyone with a fake gun.
Yeah.
They barely let us have a water gun.
Yeah. Somebody good call Sean Taylor. He was Miami Hurricane great and played with the Redskins, and somebody broke into his house. It was like some teenagers or something like that. And remember that they shot him and
Did they shoot him in the leg?
Yes, they caught that artery, and he bled out because of it.
Terrible story.
I've heard great things about him too. So, yeah.
I mean, if you want to go real deep, if you want to take it to the real old school, okay, amen for Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. No, that is actually a really good one.
It is.
No doubt, because he died at a time that we needed him.
We needed Abe and his theories.
I think, honestly, as far as civil justice in America, I think it set us back by 100 years. Because the guy that came in didn't do what he was going to do.
Well, he got shot in the height of what was going on there.
Yeah, it really, the death of Abraham Lincoln, I think, jacked up America for a long time.
There's a Twilight Zone episode, Virginia, called The Passerby, which I don't want to ruin the ending for you, but they have Lincoln as the last victim of the Civil War. It's an interesting episode. I shouldn't have even told you guys that. Nobody cares, Bert.
Aw.
Vici is an artist, Iner, so there's a couple of other ones in there as well. But good suggestion. Thanks for getting a hold of us.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
How about this? You try to dodge a couch on I-95 and you wind up with the ticket. I don't know if you heard this story from a couple days ago. A couple was driving north on I-95 in Port St. Lucie and they swerved to avoid a couch and fell off a truck.
Oh, boy.
They struck the median and flipped over.
Oh, my gosh.
Their car's totaled. They're taken to the hospital in ambulances, and then they get a ticket from FHP for $166 for not staying in their lane.
How is that possible? Come on.
They asked Florida Highway Patrol about it, and they acknowledged that it was a tough break for the victims.
They flipped their car avoiding a couch.
I know. But
What do you want them to do? Just hit the couch head on?
yeah, I don't. I'm like, come on, we can't give them a break. They say that troopers have the discretion when issuing traffic citations. So,
Let me guess. Flat top cop.
I mean, I'd want to say it, but it sounds like an FTC.
I mean, come on. Haven't these poor people been through enough?
right.
They didn't hit another vehicle, right?
No, it looked like from the story, they hit the median, flipped over there. And what about the driver of the truck with the couch that came off?
Yeah, where's
anybody
his
needs
ticket?
Yeah, that guy gets a ticket, but not the people driving behind him. That's insane.
That is not fair.
20-year-old Michael Phillips was in the passenger seat of a stolen car that the cops pulled over in St. Pete on Saturday night. As the cops were doing the pat down, they felt something in his growing region, and they're like, dude, he's like, it's not a gun, man, it's my junk.
It's hard like steel.
Yeah, they're like, so your junk has a trigger? It was a gun. And he was arrested for carrying a concealed firearm.
Nice try, dude.
Yeah, nice try, Michael. A guy in Wisconsin got his driver's license photo taken with half a beard. It's kind of going viral today, that photo.
Half a beard?
Yeah, he grew a beard, then he shaved half his face and left the other half with the beard on and went to go get his license photo.
They'll let you do that, huh?
I guess so. They did in Wisconsin.
Seems like shenanigans.
It does, like, the
The
last...
DMV don't like shenanigans usually.
They don't. In
Yeah.
fact, the last time I went to the DMV, I took a picture and she made me take it again because, quote, you look homeless in this picture. I'm like, all right, I guess
She
I'll...
told you that?
Wow.
She said you look homeless?
She was real cool, but I'm like, all right, let's take another picture. He was nice, but there was an insult in there.
Okay.
That's hard.
That's insulting?
Yeah.
There's a woman in Texas who got arrested after she set a Bible on fire in her backyard.
Oh, my.
And instant karma, the fire spread to her home and then to her neighbor's home.
Okay, that's someone telling you to
Don't burn
stop
the Bible.
burning the Bible.
What a
So
crazy...
I ran out, tried to use my water hose to kind of spray it off and make sure it didn't get to my sister's house.
We had heavy fire showing from basically 2 residential structures. We started applying water as much as we could. I would say there's approximately $150,000 worth of damage total.
Apparently those Bibles really go up.
Dang.
Whoa. Right, huh?
What the hell's the matter with you?
You always see that in movies too, where they always use that Bible to cut out the pages and put something horrific inside, like either drugs or a diamond or a gun.
Yeah. It's a great contraband smuggler.
Does anybody ever really use Bibles for that? Or is that just a movie thing?
No, I'm sure they do.
Because you're right. Who's going to take a Bible and look
Right.
at it?
If you look innocent and they see you with the Bible, they might let you through and not think twice.
Yeah. It's a great cover. A guy in Michigan broke into a house last year by using his debit card to force open the lock. Here's the thing, though. When you do that, make sure you take the card with you because it's got your name on it.
Aw.
Yeah.
You think you could unlock a door with a debit card?
It depends on how the contraption and the hardware is set up. The cheaper the lock, the more chance of you getting in.
I think you're right. If you have a broke down lock, I think
Yeah.
you can get in with a credit card.
I've
your
done it
lock,
before.
Your lock, you couldn't get in.
No, not my new one, but my old one you could. My old one was a crappy lock.
I think I could get into Ralston's house with a credit card.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I could.
All
I
right,
don't
give it a
know.
shot.
You put that new hurricane door. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's a good point.
I like you to sit there and watch it. It'd be my entertainment for the afternoon.
It would go on for a while.
Yeah.
It would.
Tell me if you see a problem with this. There's a kids show in the Netherlands, and it's to promote body positivity.
Okay, that's a good thing.
And to do that, they have kids asking questions to naked adults.
What?
Some people there think it's beyond inappropriate.
What makes you say that, Kevin?
Is this real?
It's real, Virginia.
What idiots?
Yeah, kids programming in Holland. Interesting move there.
Maybe we don't get it because we're not in Holland.
I don't know.
Maybe there's another layer to it that maybe they're covered Because it sounds horrible.
In Holland, a full-grown naked man being asked questions by small children should still be inappropriate.
No, what I'm saying is maybe the way they do it, the kids can't see them, and it's just like the game show or whatever.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah, the concept's terrible. I'm not defending the concept.
Are you defending naked men being questioned by children?
I am not. Let's get that out of the air.
Well, this is kind of a bizarre story. There is a woman in Australia who's accused of embezzling around $20 million.
Whoa, lady.
Now, she's been missing since November, so this adds to the mystery. And they just found her severed foot.
She did.
Oh, boy.
She's not around anymore.
Who did she steal from? That's who killed her, and she's dead.
You're probably going to find a hand in a month, and then maybe a rib and another.
Here's the interesting twist, and I don't have the details as to why. The cops don't actually think that she was killed.
What?
They think that there's a chance she cut it off herself trying to fake her death. She severed her own foot to throw them off the scent.
I mean, this woman is hardcore.
If you do that, you know what? You're free.
You should get to keep
You
the
get
20
the 20
million.
mil.
Yeah, cut off your foot.
win.
Yes.
Well, she's on the run, but is she?
I mean,
Yeah.
you deserve a chunk of that money. I'll
Yeah.
break out $5 million for a foot.
Okay. Well, I've got some really great news for her because there is a private island in the Bahamas now that is called Little Ragged Island that is now up for auction. And they think it's going to go for $19.5 million. She's got 20.
Perfect.
So she would have 500,000 left if she can just hop to the Bahamas. She could be there for the auction on March 26th. They say it's 730 acres of white sand beaches. It views the Atlantic Ocean and it has more than 30,000 feet of shoreline.
Wow.
If you cut off both feet, you get an extra $3 million in there. You get $8 million now.
I think I want more than $3 million for a foot.
Yeah, I mean, maybe your feet, because they're all jacked up.
Damn.
But my foot has a higher market value,
Why
but...
you gotta go after my feet? They're my mother's feet. You're making fun of my mom's feet when you make fun of mine.
I'm sorry. Y'all got jacked up feet.
Maybe this guy got feet like the bird. I don't know. Trying to figure out if this is a normal thing or how weird this is. Got an email. It says, I love my boyfriend, but he does the weirdest thing. He puts Vaseline all over his hands and even does this with his feet. And then he puts socks over both his hands and feet before going to bed.
Ugh.
Oh, my gosh. That's actually really good for your skin.
You suppose that you can do that with, I think, is it onions? You put onions in your socks and you go to bed with onions in there too. It smells. It's an
Why do you
old-
do that?
It's supposed to take out the toxins from your feet.
Oh, yeah?
I
Yeah.
don't know if I believe that one.
Is it the onions? I tried it.
Yeah, somebody
it-
said it was onions, but I don't know if that's real.
It's an old kind of a thing they used to do. Some people really stand by it. So we talked about it on Weird and Whatever, and people are emailing me going, Bird, this works. It takes out the toxins and
Yeah.
the poisons of your feet. It did nothing but made me smell like a really bad fast food joint.
Oh, okay. That is kind of interesting, at least for a dude to do that. I've never heard, as far as I know, I don't have any guy friends that do that.
like when you go to get like a fancy pedicure and stuff, they will lube you all up and then put like, gloves on your hands and special booties on your feet. And I've had that happen before. Like they'll do your hands and feet and then you'll go get a massage and you'll leave those gloves and booties on. And it's supposed to moisturize your hands and feet, really super like intense moisture.
Okay. Although they were just asking, does anybody else do this, or I just have the weirdest boyfriend on the planet?
And does anyone else put onions in their socks?
Yeah.
I think he just cares about his feet and hands and wants them to be soft and young. I mean, I can't fault the guy.
That's pretty interesting.
Some people want to know what kind of toxins they're getting out of the foot with that onion sock thing. I think it's just the basic feet poisons of the human body.
That sounds legit.
Doesn't that
Feet poisons
Not.
of the human body?
That sounds like you just made that up.
Hey, it wasn't the best answer, but it gets out the poison. Metalbeard Dan.
Okay. Does anybody have a weird ritual to that level? Anybody else doing this Vaseline trick? Somebody did text in and said, yeah, I use a Vaseline trick. I have eczema, so it actually helps keep my hands and feet from cracking. The gloves and socks are to trap the moisture in so it can absorb into the skin throughout the night. So I guess some people, if you've got really chronically dry skin, you got to do that.
I love it.
My mom had that lizard's disease, kind of like that skin.
That's what they called it?
A lot of my factoids are not such facts.
Lizard's disease?
She would, though. She'd get like scaly skins.
Yeah, the eczema. Yeah. Somebody texted and said they make socks that are pre-moisturized for that same purpose.
Ooh.
Wet socks?
Ugh.
I don't know if I want wet socks, but maybe they have like a layer of lotion in them.
I wouldn't like that feeling. That would make my that would tickle me in areas. I don't like it.
You can't put too much. You can't have a wet foot, but a moisturized foot feels nice.
People trying to say that this is made up about that onion in the sock. Y'all, that's a real thing. I'm telling you.
It is a real thing. I was just looking it up, and it's linked to Chinese medicine.
Boom.
Because there are access points on the bottom of your foot known as meridians, and some people believe that those are pathways to the different organs in your body, and that the onion helps clear out those systems by the connection point.
What she said.
Huh.
I don't know if I believe it, but I mean, it's here, it's online, and isn't everything online true?
Yes, just about 99.9.
Yeah, that and the text we get to the KVJ show. All true.
Every one of them.
Somebody said, I work in dermatology, and Vaseline is absolutely the best thing. This guy is smart for doing it. So he's not weird. He's just that smart.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
And Vaseline is very cheap, too. If you go to buy like a big tub of it, because I use waterproof mascara sometimes, and Vaseline is the best thing to get waterproof mascara off your eyelashes, you can buy like a giant tub of Vaseline for very cheap.
Oh, that's a good comment. Want to shout out to Jaybird. Very good idea about the onions in the sock. It's a sign of somebody who knows about the medical community.
You just made that
I
up.
did not make that up.
Nobody wrote that.
Yeah, where was that?
It's on, I think, our...
Where'd you see that? Because I'm looking at all the comments.
Our KV MySpace.
KV
MySpace.
We don't have it. It's just KV MySpace.
You guys fired me.
We didn't include you on MySpace? Is that what happened? Okay. All right, yeah. So apparently there's something to it. So he's not crazy.
Look at this.
He's in the know. Now, this to me is crazy. I don't get this. My wife is in this category. Pimple poppers.
Ugh.
I think it's the most revolting thing. I can't stand it. She is always picking at me or the kids, always going after the pimples. And I've seen other people who are doing this. And unfortunately, there's all kinds of like TikTok videos with pimple popping, and there's even a show, right? Dr. Pimple Popper.
I don't want to pop a stranger's pimple, but if it's my husband or my daughter, I need to get rid of it. And when you look at a zit, you can tell if it's ready to be popped or not. And if it's ready to be popped, I feel like it's my duty on this earth to pop it and kill it.
Is it sort of like a sign of affection? Kind of, I'm taking care, nurturing you?
It's all I can think about. If I see a zit on you and then you try to have a conversation with me, I'm not even hearing anything you're saying because all I'm thinking about is your zit.
No, what you do is you publicly say to everybody in the group, hey, look, Jaybird's got a pimple on his neck. And everyone in the back of the restaurant can hear it too, including the cook line.
It looked like a second head. It was so big.
Don't give me a break. It was 10 years ago. Let it go. I'm talking to myself.
You're right, though, Jaybird. They say that there is a biological function to this, and it has to do with relationships. And they say that if you are grooming somebody or going after the pimples, it's an indication of a serious long-term romantic involvement. Or if you're talking about the kids, it's just that you are comfortable and you care for that person.
Yeah, I mean, if you're with a woman that would pick your pimples, she's ride or die, man. She's seen you. I mean, that's pretty gross.
It is really gross, and I can't get over it. I still don't know that I agree with it, but I guess that's what it is. It's a biological function.
Well, I want to not just pop it, but I want to get all the bacteria out, and I want to kill it. And I look at it in my head like I'm doing you a favor. So not only do I pop it and clear it, but then I put like either like an alcohol-based product or a zit cream or something to kill it.
It's a symbol of love.
Yeah, It is.
Yeah.
From a certain point of view.
It means I don't want you to have this yucky thing on you.
And now I was really against it, but now I'm kind of like, all right, it's gross, but it's cute.
See, I love you. When I called out your zit in the Mexican restaurant, it means I care.
I know you care, and that's what's annoying.
Yeah.
You care in a weird way, though.
How do you get somebody to stop caring?
Yes.
That's what we need.
Never.
More KVJ next on 97.9 WRMF.
Do you ever see something that just always grabs your attention? I can't help myself. Whenever I see somebody talking about chicken wings, I'm like, yes.
Chicken wings are one of those things that really gets my attention too, Kevin.
I'm a sucker for it. I can't even stop it.
I know.
Every time I see chicken wings, I think about how Virginia was throwing a house party and was only going to bring 12 wings.
That's
to
your
that.
first thought?
I'm like, dang, you don't respect wings.
I had 18 other appetizers. You keep bringing it up.
Yeah. I saw on Sun Sentinel they're doing a poll now for the best wings in South Florida.
Ooh.
So,
All right.
of course, I had to jump on there and check it out. There's a lot of the places that I haven't checked out. It just, reminds me that I, have so much work left to do.
There's a lot of work out there to do.
Yeah.
Did they list Publix on there?
No, these were more restaurants. So Publix didn't make the cut. They had a bunch of local places, and then they also had some more of the chains that you might know. The chains that will have locations pretty much throughout South Florida that is on the list. They have Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza, their wings. They have Bo Campers, Brews Room, Duffy's.
Duffy's. I had those over the weekend.
Had the wings?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah?
I am a huge fan of the sesame ginger sauce.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Oh,
That sounds
that
good.
is so delicious to me. And Thirsty Turtle, too. They kind of have the same yum sauce.
Since
Okay.
I grew up in this area, Thirsty Turtle's name always comes up with their wings. We're talking since the 90s. Their name always comes up.
Well, that was it because coming up on our Facebook page, in fact, maybe I'll have Denny's drop that right now since we're talking about it, if you can just change the time on it. Because they had the chains and they had some of the local places. And I know when we've talked about it, they put a heavy focus on Broward County and things like that was missing. They weren't on the list. So I know if we did our own KVJ, we have to include that one.
Have you ever had the sweet chili firecracker wings at Duffy's, too?
No,
those are good, too.
I need to go in there. In fact, it would be great. I don't know if they cannot do this, but to me, it'd be nice if places would start offering a buffet of wings.
A flight.
Yes, if you got 10, you would have 2 of each, and you get 5 different varieties.
Oh, there's places that do that.
They are?
Oh, yeah. I bet you any money if you were at Duffy's, you asked them to do that, they would do that for you.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
totally.
So
Or, be a man and get 10 of each of all 12 of their sauces.
I remember back in the day, there was a place out in Broward, out in Lauderdale. They had 5-cent wing day where you go in there and you would eat just a buttload of wings and your bill wasn't that much money.
That's unreal.
And they had all kind of sauces, honey mustard, honey mustard and barbecue.
That's what's fun about it is you can just there's always something new to check out. So yeah, the big chains they had other than Duffy's, they also had Flanagan's, Hurricane Grill and Wings, Lucille's Bad to the Bone, Wings and Things, Wings Plus, and Yard House.
Who wants to get fat and sassy and real nasty today after our meeting?
Wings make me giddy.
Don't avoid the question.
If you're talking wings, I'm down.
Okay.
I'm always down, but I can't go today. I got to bring kids all over the place.
There's always an excuse with Sinicki.
I'm sorry. I pushed 2 kids out, and now they take up all my time. No one told me it was going to be like this.
When's Mag is going to start driving? Have her go get us some wings.
So it's March? Mags gets her official license on May 30th where she can drive.
Oh, wow.
I guess she's going to have her freedom and all. You got to put her to work, though. If we want some specialty, dinners or lunches during the show.
I already do because Mags has friends that drive, and I make her friends drive her to go pick me up food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like a free Uber.
You gotta do that.
It's like free Uber Eats.
You want to drive in this house, kid? You're picking me up some wings.
Yeah. We're out of milk. You'll be stopping at Publix.
I used to hate that. My mom would always make me get milk. I'd be taking one of those teenage naps, and like at 4 o'clock, we need milk. You gotta go get it now. I'm like, no.
Yeah, people suggesting other wings, and some of them are on there. Somebody said Shenanigans, Dania Beach. Yeah, that's on their list. Wilton Wings in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, that's on their list. Somebody had said that you've got to try Uncle Mike's, it looks like.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Have you? Okay. Lefties in Port St. Lucie. So, yeah, I've got that up, and then the Thirsty Turtle Wings. People are like, I'm going for that today.
Thirsty Turtle is on point.
They also have good. They have just good food. It's a fun vibe. That's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you want to go comment on that, it's up now on the KVJ Show Facebook page. And I broke it down, too, so you can see. You don't have to go all the way into the poll from the Sun Sentinel if you don't want to. But you can see the chain, and then they have all the local places that are kind of listed. But, yeah, right away when I saw, I'm like, they're not Thirsty Turtle on there. They're clearly missing some places that if we did this, we got to get it right.
What about that one place I always see? Is it Wingstop or Wingport or Wings? It's something. It's one of those ones they specialize in wings, but I think it's more of like a fast food type of a thing.
There's a few. Is it Wings Plus or Wings and Things?
It's Wings Plus.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that made their list. That's on there.
Have you had them?
I have not yet. No. I got to get them.
I feel like there's so much work we have to get out there and do.
And this is just the work of a wings. We haven't even started to scratch the surface of pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody said Sports Grill in Miami. They also have a Pembroke Pines location. Yeah, they're listed. They're on there, so you could vote for that one.
I'll tell you what would be a fun trip is you get a bunch of people together and you take a bus and you just hit up every wing place you can think of in a day. It's a wing day.
The wing tour.
The wing tour.
And maybe have I bet we could take the Damn Good Beer bus and do like a beer and wings tour.
Get a wing shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, the ideas are flowing.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so go and check the list that we have got on our Facebook page and let us know what else is missing from it. Love the suggestions. Thank you very much. Going to throw together our own little poll here before too long. Trees Wings. People are throwing in there from Royal Palm. That is not on the list. We'll add that to it for the best wings in South Florida.
Trees Wings is what I used to order them all the time. They've got amazing sauces, and I also love their cheese fries.
Okay.
Trees Wings. I remember you. Do you remember me?
That goes nice together. Wings and cheese fries.
We have the whole YouTube chat room. They're in a wing frenzy. They want to have a wing orgy. They can't believe it.
Need it.
They need it.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I know the last time we talked about that, I'm kind of slowly going down the list and checking places off, and there's so many great places to get wings in South Florida. I just, love it. Love it. So you can go see that on our Facebook page.
Maybe one day we do that wing tour, and then we follow with that pizza tour. I don't want to do
a
that.
Day of gorging yourself.
Do it.
Can we have like a week or two off in between?
You don't have to do it back-to-back weekends, but going on a wing tour or a pizza tour, you wake up at 6
Yeah.
You get dressed. You get dressed in your pizza or your wing outfit. Get a group
you got
together.
You got an outfit.
Yeah, well, it should be a day of celebration, and you go hard.
Yeah.
You go from Miami all the way up to the Pizzle.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
This man is adventurous.
Oh, this ain't your grandma's adventure. This is a wing adventure.
Okay.
You're invited. I was talking too long.
At least you own it.
Okay. So we'll get to that and check out all the great suggestions there on the Facebook page. We talked a good bit today, but it is a massive story just based on the numbers alone. That interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry that Oprah did, 17.1 million viewers tuned in. I have not heard of what the numbers were when it showed in England. I imagine those were big as well. They say the 17.1, that's more than the Golden Globes and the Emmys combined. So just goes to show you where the interest ranks and what we care. And that's not even our royal family. You know, that's just what that is. And the allegations that had come from them about they were concerned about the skin color of their child.
That was hard to hear.
That's a pretty damning allegation. And if you think it's big here, across the pond in England, it is a big deal. And they've been fighting about it. Now, we had seen this guy before, Piers Morgan. Remember, he used to pop on CNN every now and then, filling for Larry King.
He's still around.
Yeah, he is. He's on Good Morning Britain. He's on daily on television there. And he used to have a relationship with Meghan Markle, and then something happened where they were on the outs. And so he's kind of been trashing her. And there's really two sides of this, and everybody seems to be taking their side. Do you believe Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, or do you think that they are lying? And like I'd said earlier, the Daily Mail, the British tabloid, they went through and fact-checked apparently a lot of the things that Meghan Markle had said, and majority of them were lies, false.
They said. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Keep in mind your boy Piers Morgan. He's all about the theater. He likes a to-do.
He's a drama queen.
He's a peacocker.
Yeah.
He likes when people are talking about him.
He was. So he stormed off the set this morning of Good Morning Britain because he and his co-hosts were having a little to-do about this interview.
I actually watch this show sometimes.
You do?
Yeah.
And I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this program. A number of times. And I understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no.
Sorry. Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not my...
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't
this
do
is
this.
absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Pierce spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen. 6:30 to 7 o'clock yesterday was incredibly hard to watch. Incredibly hard to watch.
Okay.
It still sounds more refined than an American fight.
It does. Yeah, they fight better. They storm off their sets with a lot more poise and manners and pomp and circumstance than we do on ours.
Guess who also went on Good Morning Britain? Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's dad.
Oh, yeah?
Is he Team Markle or is he Team Queen?
He's been cut off too, so he's in the same boat. He has had no contact with her, and he claims that she cut him out of her life, and if she wouldn't have cut him out of her life, then she wouldn't have suffered with the psychological problems and loneliness. He says that he could have helped her from her suicidal thoughts and all that, but he cut her out of his life.
Okay. Well, a lot of fighting going on with this thing. And I'm just amazed at the numbers of how many people care about Britain's royal family.
Side note, it sort of has to do with the conversation. That Gold Belly, would I be able to get French fries, the chips from England, shipped over here from a Gold Belly? Like an English Gold Belly kind of a thing?
I don't know if you want French fries from overseas.
I want British chips. I was looking at pictures of them the other day, and I want to see if I would love them as much as my eyeballs thought they would.
Well, let's make a plan to go there one day and have them hot and fresh.
I think
you can tell this guy's hungry. I mean, my gosh.
I mean, someone get him something out the snack machine. He's talking crazy.
Clearly, this dude needs to eat.
The KVJ Show will be right back. 97.9 WRMF.
Apparently, William is pissed. They say livid is the term that they use here at his brother Harry, and they say this is likely the final nail in the coffin to their relationship. The interview that he did with his wife Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey. So that's the reports, Virginia. So I wonder if he feels like the shade is being pointed to him about the concerned about the skin color comment.
Does he feel guilty? I mean, it could have been somebody who works for the firm, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It could have been somebody else in the family. So, I mean, it could have been that wily Prince Andrew. You don't know.
You don't know. Sounds sinister. The fight is on, though. Man. You know what? We need a celebrity match. Harry and William. Could you see them just duking it out?
I would not want to see that. They're brothers.
Oh, I don't know, Virginia. Can you imagine? Do you think that would be bigger than the ratings with Oprah interviewing of Harry and Meghan Markle?
William would never do it.
You got to go straight to the top. You got the Queen.
You want the Queen to box?
The Queen of England's got to go off with somebody.
Who does she take on?
I mean, Betty White. One represents the U.S.
That could be fascinating.
Tell me people wouldn't. I get that it's a terrible idea, but people wouldn't tune into that.
I don't know. Yeah, I
they
mean,
would tune in.
I think it would beat 17 million, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, right?
Neither one of them look like they can take a punch.
People would tune in just to see what the hell happens.
Yeah. All right, Bird, we got the After the Show podcast coming up. Get us there with your thought for the day.
Well, I mean, all this talk about wings. I got to give a wing thought of the day.
Yes, you do.
All right? Your wings already exist. All you have to do is fly.
Yeah.
Fly.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.